again. Let's see. Lake Kate B's here. Kate B and our Thursday night talk. Okay. For the past few Thursdays, I waited for my kid by the pool while she took diving lessons. But today, I was coming from work to pick her up and go to the diving lessons. But I got stuck at traffic. And by the time I got home, it was too late to go to diving lessons. So instead, I took it easy. I cooked a nice, healthy meal for me and for my older daughter. She was happy to miss the diving and not drive in the car for 45 or 50 minutes in crazy evening traffic on I-4. So I decided to walk at the lake to watch the sunset at our local lake and take you with me. Oh, I have one viewer. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you can hear me well. It's a little bit windy, but I have this little furry connecting your life. I hope the picture will be good. I'm going to a spot under the tree where you can sit down and watch at the lake and enjoy sunset. Привет. Привет, good evening. Sue, what kind of diving lessons? Okay. Diving lessons? What state are you in? I'm in Florida. My channel is called Kate B. You can find it by typing into the search box at Kate B. And I'm in Florida, and we have a very, very nice weather. It's not humid, it's very warm, it's probably 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Олечка, good evening, welcome. So, diving lessons, it's when the kids jumping off a diving board into the swimming pool. I'm in Florida too. Sue, welcome. Sue Garofalo. You're probably my new viewer. I haven't seen you at my live streams before. Welcome, welcome to my channel. Okay. I'm showing you our beautiful lake. And I'm going to a little spot under the big oak tree. They have a little bench there to sit down and enjoy the ending of the day and the beautiful sunset over the lake. What city? I'm in Orlando area. Let's keep it like that. So today I'm in a good mood. It's been almost a week at my work since I got to meet my new co-worker. And she is wonderful. So I'm in a very good mood. I'm very optimistic about working with the new co-worker. And I'm teaching her a lot of new things. But I'm very impressed with her work ethic so far. And I'm very impressed with her abilities to pick up things quickly and work independently. I really, really appreciate that quality and the people who can do the job without too much supervision. And I really appreciate her help all this week. So we almost been together for the whole week. And so far we had a very, very productive time at work. And I'm very, very happy about it. And I came to see my viewers on my channel, and I came to share good news that I'm very happy with the new coworker, and things are going very smooth and very, very good. This is the lake. So probably a little bit of overcast, so we don't know if we can see the sunset, but we'll try. Today I'm using the microphone, so let me know how can you hear me. Sue, I'm in Jacksonville. That's great. We're in Orlando area. We're east of Orlando. So, let me turn my camera. Oh, sorry for my fingers. Let me turn my camera. Hello, hi everybody. Welcome to my channel. Good evening. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. 6 people. I was thinking, I can hear you very well. Thank you. I'm using this little microphone and I put this little furry thing on top. And somebody decided, of course, when the vlogger is going to live stream, somebody will decide to mow the lawn right in front of your camera. So everybody, all your viewers can hear the beautiful sound of mowing the beautiful green lawn in beautiful Florida. Anyways, today I was thinking, what is your country of origin? Sue, you must be new, so you need to catch up on some of my background. I came from Republic of Moldova in 2006 and I settled here in Florida. Republic of Moldova is a little country in Eastern Europe next to Romania, and Romania is on the west and the east border with Ukraine. It's a little tiny country southeast of Europe. The language I'm speaking is Russian. Hello. But for my channel, I use both. For my YouTube channel, I use Russian and English. So today, I'm doing my live stream in English. And I was thinking about the topic. And I decided to talk a little bit about my parenting style. So, I don't know why they need to know about my parenting style, but because, you know, vloggers try to discuss the topics that let's say that interest them the most, or maybe in this case worry them the most. So I was thinking about my parenting style. I'm an immigrant. I'm very proud, but I'm connecting. So educated as they are now. So if you ask them back 30 years ago what was her parenting style, she will probably smile at you and she will probably say, what are you talking about? There is no parenting style. She said, I'm a mother. She would say, I'm a mother and you have to behave, something like that. Look at this beautiful sunset. Here we are at the lake. So now we have a lot of information about relationships, about raising kids, about psychology. And of course, we read that information, we try to try it on and see how we feel about different parenting styles and what we are and what we strive to be. Как красиво. How beautiful is that at the lake? This is a little bench I'm going to sit. I hope you can still hear me well. How gorgeous is that lake? How peaceful is here? I like to come here. At the end of the day, you just need a place, a happy place to reconnecting. So if you would ask mom what was her parenting style, I don't think she'll give you an answer. But looking at the parenting styles and the psychology, psychology, I would tell my mom was very authoritative. Yeah, authoritative. Sue, tell me if I'm saying it wrong. So her parenting style was authoritative. So the country I was born, it was a communist country. And I could tell that my mom was a product of that upbringing, that mentality, that philosophy, that culture that we had when I grew up. So I think my mom had that very authoritative style, parenting style. And I was thinking to myself, Um, I've been in this country for the past, let's say, for the past 17 years. And I matured. I gave birth to my kids here. And of course, I matured and most of my adult years were here in the United States. So I adopted a lot from this culture, from the people I met along the way. And I was trying to decide if I wanted to be having the same parenting style as my mom, or I want to combine both cultures and see personalities in my kids, let them grow free of judgment, let them grow smarter, let them grow knowing that they can express themselves and be kids without a lot of restrictions, without a lot of parenting bothering them or stopping them from exploring, from discovering. Of course, as a parents, we want to keep them safe. Of course, we have different times when technology is everywhere and the kids are exposed to a lot of things we were not exposed in our childhood. But because I was maturing and I had my kids not as early in life, I had my kids after, like I had my first child at 32 and I had my second child at 37. I believed I was mature enough to raise them and combine both culture in their bringing, to combine the culture, all the best I had in my culture and all the best that United States has to offer as a country, as a community, as a cultures, whatever you want to say. But I have a feeling that I only matured in the past 5 years. And to tell you the truth, when my kids were born, I was a stress ball. I was an anxious, stressed mom. I was trying to be good at home. I was trying to be good at work. I was trying to be good at school. And when my kids were born, I was trying my best to be a good mom, reading a lot of books on motherhood, on keeping your kids safe, on paying attention or being, you know, always in your kids' life. And when they start preschool, I always felt that guilt, you know, I'm missing out on something. And I always knew I want to work as a mom. I wanted to be a working mom. I always knew that. I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I don't know how it comes. Maybe it comes from a family. Maybe it comes from my mom because she was a role model. She was always a working mom. So I just felt like I'm going to be a working mom. But before you have kids, you don't know these things. You don't know how you're going to feel down the road. You don't know the situation you're going to face. And you can't protect yourself from all kinds of life situations. You can't be too, let's say, you can't be too smart to know what's going to wait for you. Jasmine Perez, mucho gusto. Welcome. Hola. We're at the lake. We're watching the sunset at the lake in Florida in East Orlando. So, even you read the books, you know, when you have kids don't necessarily come with the manual. But I always knew I wanted to be a working mom. And I always thought to myself, we try to be a good mother, we try to be a good wife, we try to be a good friend, we try to be a good worker, we try to be a good employee. But sometimes it puts so much pressure on you, it puts so much stress on you that you forget about your own needs, you forget about your own feelings. You're trying so hard to be good in all these roles that you kind of lose yourself in all of these roles. So when I worked, and my daughter, I stayed briefly home with my first child, and I had the luxury to stay home for about a year and a half with my first child. And I still say it's a luxury because I didn't need to worry about making money and helping, my husband with the bills. I didn't need to worry about getting up to go to work. um, I had this, opportunity to stay home with my kid, to sign up for the moms group, local moms group, to meet fellow moms. And I kind of had this great time when I devoted myself to my toddler, and I would go explore places. I would take kids. I will take my kid to all the play dates. I would explore places. We would go to science center. We would go to parks. We'll take kids for seasonal activities, and it was a fun time. But on the back of my mind, I always missed something. I always was a person that was missing some kind of opportunity. I was always having the feeling that I'm not working, I'm not making my own money, I'm not a good partner to my husband, I'm not, I'm not making money for the family budget. And as much as I enjoyed being with my toddler, as much as I enjoyed being with those fellow ladies, I met them and we still keep a great friendship after like 14 years of friendship. We still get together. We still go on mom's trip every summer. We still keep in touch. We still celebrate each other's birthdays. We still get together for lunch. We still keep in touch on Facebook. As much as I loved that time being a stay-at-home mom, I always felt like I'm missing out. So I told myself, at the first opportunity come along, I'm going to go back to work. And I went back to work when my daughter was a little over 2 years old. I found that beautiful new daycare. Well, we call it daycare, we call it preschool, whatever you want to call it. I went there, I toured a couple of other daycares. I liked that it was new, it was not far from my house. And I told to myself, it's time to go back to work. She's going to be okay. She's going to socialize. She's a toddler. She needs time to be around kids. She needs time to have other adults around her. And it was time to put her in the preschool. And I went back to work when she was a little over 2. And as much as I wanted to be a working mom, I started to experience all that guilt. I'm like, well, now I'm working. I'm busy. I'm useful somewhere else except the house, or I'm useful somewhere else. But why do I feel that guilt? Why do I feel that guilt that my child is in daycare, even if they have cameras, even if they have wonderful teachers? Even if I know she's safe and she's in good hands, why I always felt so guilty? Why I always was beating up myself that, maybe I'm not a good mom. Maybe, I should have stayed with her until she goes to a public school until 5 years old, like other stay-at-home moms would do. And I would think for myself, why at a certain period of times, we as moms, we're not satisfied. We're not satisfied enough with our situation. Is it age? Is it like your hormones? You're young and you think you have a whole life ahead of you, or is it young? You don't want to be in the house, stuck in the house, and just be housewife. Is it the pressure? Is it the feminist culture that kind of tells us that we are equal with the man, so we can be breadwinners too, we can also make money? What is it? What puts so much stress on women that if they have one situation, they can't be content with it. When they get what they want, like in my situation, when I get what I wanted to be a working mom, and I put my kid to the best daycare, and I could afford that daycare, I made enough money to cover that daycare. Why I still wasn't satisfied? Why I still had these regrets? Why I still felt that I'm missing out on something? You could say it was personality. I could say it was immaturity. It was my age. It was I always felt like I'm dealing with some lost opportunities. But later on in life, when I had the second child, I told to myself, you are blessed. You have a second child where you can understand what you're going to deal with. You know, you already have experience with the first child. You had that luxury of being a stay-at-home mom. Now it's time just to arrange logistics, to have help, and enjoy life. And with the second child, to deal with the life situations, not thinking, overthinking, or being anxious about them, but dealing with the situations when the situation like comes. And when I had my second child, I was very well prepared for all those feelings of how to enjoy this first year of baby's life. With the first child, you're so wrapped up in the newness, like in the new role, that you forget you forget about yourself, you forget about your needs. You're so wrapped up and you're trying to be the best mom possible for this newborn. And I don't even remember about having a depression. I don't think I had a postpartum depression, but I remember the feeling that I was so wrapped up. My life was revolving only around this baby that I didn't even want to meet anybody. I didn't even want to have friends at first, like this first year. Of course, second year when she was a toddler, I joined that mom's group, and that was amazing. But the first year, you know, when it's your first child, you're trying to be the best mom. You're trying to do everything by the book. No one cares, no one cares, no one cares. Okay, that's fine, Daniel. That's fine that no one cares. I think I still have viewers that care, so they're gonna stay with me. Thank you for your message. So, and with the second child, you kind of try to relax. You kind of try to enjoy your newborn. You kind of try to juggle house work and, you know, and having an older child and having a baby. And you try not to forget about yourself. And you're trying to remember what worked for you with the first child. And you kind of, with the second child, you kind of let a lot of things go. I won't say I wasn't trying to be a perfect mom with the second baby, but I was at with a lot of things I was at ease, let's say it. And a lot of people give you a lot of advice, and sometimes I'm a person, back in the day when people gave me advice, I take it, you know, I listen to everybody, and I take something and I try, and if it works for me, I'm forever grateful for the person for giving me that advice. But because I was already a nanny in a couple of different families, I kind of saw a lot of things that worked for other parents. So I was trying, even I wasn't a mom back when I was a nanny, I was trying to take all this nanny experience and apply it to my own, you know, to my own situation with my kids. And let me tell you, with somebody else's kids, I was even 100 times more responsible and 100 times more by the book than I was with my children. I don't know why it is like that, but with the second child especially, you are more relaxed. You're trying to enjoy this first year a little more. You understand that this year goes so fast that you got this baby squish only for the first 5 months and 6 months, and you try to enjoy it and not think about like not trying to make things bother you as much as it bothered you with the first kid. But again, having a second child, juggling work, being a mom, being a husband, being a wife, having a husband, um, again, uh, that you're not feeling that you take good care of yourself. You're always on the go. You have schedules. You put yourself in some kind of like, I don't know, like you put yourself on the run pretty much. Every day you put yourself on the run. You have like high expectations from you. You kind of like expect yourself to be a super mom. So with the second kid, some things, because you matured, you know, you've been there before with the newborn. Some things you let go, but new things come up. Now you're juggling two kids, and your older kids needs your attention too, and you kind of like wrapped up with that baby, and you kind of have other things to experience guilt. You kind of think to yourself, do I give enough time to my older baby? So what was my other guilt? Do I spend enough time with my old kid? Elena and Boris, hello from New Jersey. Hello, welcome. I'm reflecting on my parenting. I'm kind of trying to dig a little and tell you about my parenting and how I matured while my kids are growing, what lessons they teach me. And I wanted to think what kind of mom I was when my children were super young. I think I was stressed, I was anxious, I was tired, and back I was like, I don't know, I didn't take good care of myself. That's all what I can say. And even people tell you, sleep when your baby sleep, you know, try to let go your household duties, let other people help you, bring you food if you can't cook, or you're too busy, or you're too tired. I put a lot on myself. I'm very responsible. And when you're very responsible, with the responsibility comes the stress. So all I can remember from having two kids and being a work mom, it's like stress and more stress, and not taking good care of myself. And back in the day, if somebody tells you that they have like postpartum depression, they're seeking for help or something like that, you would look at them and you would say, postpartum depression? I probably don't have time for that. So you make yourself so busy with what's going on and trying to be good at every role you have, that you kind of forget about, you know, yourself and your true feelings. And I remember first few years when I had two kids and I had this job I didn't like, the place I dreaded to go every day. I wasn't happy. I wasn't content. I was okay. Like I wasn't falling apart. I would get up. I would get dressed. I would put makeup. I will be on time. I will organize everything for my child care. And I was so blessed and fortunate that my dad could come over from Europe and help me with my kids. And he could babysit my a little one as long as I needed him to babysit my little one. So I was blessed in that area, and I was always telling to myself, other people have to pay extra money, other people have to find nannies or put their child at 6 weeks after maternity leave at 6 weeks to the daycare. I didn't need to do that. So I was telling to myself, I'm fortunate enough to have that. So there is no other things to be unhappy about. Kate, you demand a lot from yourself. Yes. And I'm going towards like how with years you understand to let a lot more things go than, you know, than just have high expectations from yourself. So reflecting back, I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't have time to complain. You don't have time to be sorry for yourself. You still do these things. You still act like you're a machine. You're a super mom. You're everywhere. You know, you have two kids. You have your kid help. You have your dad helping you. You have one kid starting school at 5 years old. and now you have toddler, you have friends coming to visit you, and you don't have time to lay down and just, you know, feel sorry for yourself or take an extra nap or something like that. So I remember not being very happy just because I didn't like my job. You know, people at my job, sometimes they wouldn't change their shift to help me with the night shifts. And I felt like, you know, why would they stay there until 11 and not see my babies go into bed? And I would come home at 11 and the next day I had to get up at 8. And this stress, it was wearing me out. It was wearing me out emotionally. It was wearing me out physically. And when I talked to the other moms, they would express their concerns, saying that, yeah, I'm so tired, I have postpartum depression, I'm seeing therapist, or, you know, I'm seeking for help. I was like looking at them and kind of like judging, saying like, who has time for that? Who has time for feeling sorry? Or who has time for postpartum depression? So I didn't allow myself to listen to my feelings. I didn't allow myself to be tired or complaining. I didn't allow myself to fully enjoy life and just let in some places let it go. Like I'm thinking to myself, I wasn't a bad employee. I couldn't afford not working, but I could totally afford to seek for a new job. But I was always, you know, I was always worried, oh, now I have 2 kids. What other job would want me with 2 kids? Thinking if I'm going to be sick with my kids and I'm going to be out. And, you know, it's illegal to ask a person at the job interview if they have kids or family. But I put so much pressure on myself that nobody going to offer me a job just because they have young kids. It was stupid to think like that. It was not true. It was all in my head. It was all this stupid anxiety talking in my head. So when I changed jobs in 2015, I started to feel so much better. I started to kind of slow down. And you can imagine, when it was 2015, I was almost 40 years old, and I was thinking to myself, well, what is 40? How did I come to be 40 if I'm just, you know, had my young kids and I just, you know, started my career a couple of years ago? How can I be 40? And here started a different story. You know, like you're kind of maturing, but because you're stressed, you're tired, you still have young kids, you're still trying to be a good worker, you still have a new job, you don't have like vacations often, you still don't take good care of yourself, and you know, you gain weight, you're stressed, but again, you don't allow yourself to lay down and be sorry for yourself. You're on the run. You're like, I'm very active person. I still believe that I still believe that physical labor can cure any blues, any bad mood. Like, just do something with your hands, just clean your house, just cook something, just find something to do, to apply your hands to try to do something meaningful, to something useful, and all your blues will go away. It doesn't work like that. Apparently you just have that in your heart, and down the road you realize you sorry, it was a tick in my throat. Down the road, when you know, you spend a year, 2, 3 not taking good care of yourself, you put some weight, you go to the doctor, and the doctor tells you like, oh, so what's going on, tell me. You kind of start thinking that oh, come on, you know, it's good that you're trying to be a good mother and you're trying to be a good wife, but at some point you come to realization you have to be good to yourself too. But that realization doesn't come when you're 40, and it doesn't magically come when you're 41 or 42. This realization comes a little later, when you when you probably neglected your physical health at the point that you need prescription, or you need to go back to the gym and lose weight or something, or you need to slow down and not put so much pressure and stress to yourself. Well, so when I started to be a little happy at my workplace, it happened. It didn't happen overnight. I started my new job at 2015. I slowly started to realize that I decreased my stress levels at work. I come home a little more optimistic. I'm not as irritated. And I started to notice that when you don't bring stress home from work, you are nicer to your home people. You're nicer to the people you love. You can be a little more patient with your kids. And of course, your kids are growing. They have different demands. They don't only need you to change their diapers and cook their food and smooch them and give them hugs and kisses and baby talk. They're growing. They need more things. They start asking questions. They're curious. They want to help in the kitchen. They want to tell you about their day at school. They wanted to show their homeworks. They wanted to show their tricks, what they learned, what they do. And I started to slowly realize that not bringing stress home is a first step to being a better mom. So, and I thought to myself, oh, now I can really be patient for my kids at home. And it really, I started to notice how I started to change my attitude. Like I would come home and I would be irritated and I would be mad about every little thing, that the kids put their papers all over the place, or they would leave their clothes at the door or something. And of course I would come home stressed and irritated, and I would feel like at home I work as hard as at work. It's like my second shift and nobody cares and I'm all alone. But when I started to come from work less stressed, I started to feel great. I started to pay attention that my kids are very self-sufficient. My kids are growing. They are not, they don't need nagging. They don't need to be yelled at. And I thought to myself, how could it be possible? Is it me changing with age? Is it my work that is less stressful, or is it a combination of factors that I'm maturing? Is it my body telling me that I need to be in the energy saving mode or something like that? But I think it's all of the above. It's all of the factors. So I think around 2017, I started to take a little better care of myself. I started to lose some weight, to eat a little healthier, to go on walks, to just leave outside. Like I used to go Thursday at 8 o'clock was my personal time when I went to the local gym, and I attended Zumba class. And I remember I loved Zumba. I loved dancing. I loved Latino music. And I remember that feeling when you go to Zumba and you spend an hour dancing away and having time for yourself and doing something useful for your body. You come home and those endorphins started to kick in, and all of a sudden you love everybody, you're content, you're happy, and you can interact with your kids without being overly stressed or irritated. So, and again, it was about 2017, 2018. So you're starting to be like 43, 44, and you think, interesting. How come all these factors fall in place and they make you a little calmer, a little wiser, a little less stressed, a little better at taking care of yourself, and you think to yourself, it's probably maturity kicking in. It's probably time that you finally listen to your body and your brain. It's probably the time you slow down and you start not only being a good mom, you just start being good to yourself. And I like that. I like that. So in 2019, I started kind of to calm myself down. I started to be more grateful for, you know, for all the logistics, for all the help my dad gives me, for my kids growing, for them going to good schools, doing great in school. I started to kind of like be grateful for all these things. I was grateful for my work, that I learned a lot at my work, and I worked more independently, and I had great environment there. I had great co-workers, and I didn't need to work night shifts. I was always there. I always had to, I was always allowed to take time off to attend my kids' activities at school, to attend my kids' activities after school. And I started to really experience that, like they say, life and work balance. I started to feel it at, like, let's say, it was around 2019. I started to tell myself, oh, it's not that bad, you know. We had some renovation in the house. We had some fun travels with my family. So things kind of started to get and look so much better. Kids were growing, being a little more independent. And I looked at them and I told myself, I'm not just like my mom trying to be this authoritative, authoritarian parent. I'm trying to be more authoritative, where I see my kids, their personalities, where I respect, where I listen, where I not put too high of expectations and let them be, you know, let them be creative. And I started to notice that I thought to myself, well, I'm mature, but my kids are growing, they're maturing too, and they teach me a lot of lessons. So when my daughter was in elementary school, she loved to draw. And she told me one time that she wants to enter a contest to put her drawing on the yearbook. And I thought to myself, she can draw, but I don't want her to be disappointed if she doesn't win the contest. And here, you listen how I'm telling you the stories, because I'm transforming my own insecurities. I'm kind of passing them on to my kids. And I tell my daughter, well, honey, of course you can enter the contest, but don't have high expectations. I always would think to myself, I'm like an anxious person, and I'm thinking of the worst case scenarios. So I was thinking to myself, she's trying to enter this contest for the yearbook, but it's probably like some other talented kid gonna grab the prize and be on the yearbook, and she will be awfully disappointed. And I would think to myself, oh, it's probably some active PTA mom who wants her kid to win, and and the competition will be rigged. And I have all these scenarios in my head, and I kind of try to talk her out of being in that competition. I'm like, you can draw, of course you can enter that competition, but please don't have your hope highs. And now I'm thinking to myself, that was my own insecurities. That was my own, like, I never had a creative side on myself. I never could draw, you know, and I would always be criticizing my drawings or my whatever creative I would do. So I was kind of transferring those insecurities to my child, but she said, no, I'm still going to enter the contest. And what was my surprise when my child win the contest, and her drawing winning the contest, and all the kids at school voting for her drawing to be on the front of the yearbook. I was so happy. And I was thinking to myself, here is the thing. Here is the thing. My child just taught me a lesson that you're doing some stuff for the sake of doing it, for enjoying the process. It's not about competition. It's not about winning that competition. It's not about the result. It's about her having an idea. It's about her expressing herself through the drawing, coming up with some creative drawing that might fit the topic. Yeah, they were given a topic. It was, I don't know, it was Game On or something like that, with the, you know, something like with the gaming theme. And she won. And she comes home and she said, Mom, my drawing won the competition. My drawing will be on the yearbook. And I'm so happy, but I can't believe myself that I would stop her just because of my own insecurities. So I'm like, wow, it's amazing. I start to thinking to myself, my kid is talented no matter what. Why would I stop her from the competition just because I'm so scared of a bad outcome or a result I don't want? Why would I stop her from the whole process, from applying to that competition and at the end winning it? So it taught me a lesson just to be a little more open-minded, just to let my kid enjoy the process and praise my kid for the effort, not for the result. Praise my kid for expressing, you know, a willingness to do something that is meaningful to her. So why I'm telling all of that to you? Because Vera, Katya, привет. Верочка, hello. Thank you for joining the live stream. I'm very glad to see you. So I thought to myself, that's amazing. So the next year, my daughter, I'll tell you more. The next year, my daughter won the competition again. And again, I was thinking to myself, no, it's not going to happen. Not 2 years in a row. But guess what? She won that competition 2 years in a row. And her drawing was on the top of the yearbook again. And why did it happen? You know, just because she was willing to enjoy the process. She was willing to apply and make a drawing. She had an idea. And she won that competition. Even her mom wasn't very optimistic. Even her mom was a pessimist or like a Debbie Downer. So I wanted to tell you that while you're maturing, your kids are maturing too. And they're totally capable to teach you a lesson, to teach you a life lesson. So what I'm trying to tell you, that while your kids are growing, you are growing as a person with them. And for a long time, I didn't know that concept. I didn't understand that concept because I grew up where my mom was very authoritative and she was very strict, and she wouldn't treat me, she wouldn't worry too much about my feelings, about me having like my own, you know, my own personality or my own you know, views, until the very late age. She would be telling me what to do, or like, you know, telling me this is the way, being too much authoritative parent. But here it's like I'm trying not to be like that. I'm trying to listen to my kids. I'm trying to respect them as having different personalities. I'm trying to respect their feelings, and I'm trying to respect their emotions. And I want to be there for them. I want to be less stressed. I want to be less anxious. And I don't want to transfer my own ambitions on them or my own insecurities on them. So all this monologue I'm telling you because with the little one, maybe you saw my little one in my previous stream on Sunday, and she wanted to show you. It's already getting dark, so I have to probably start going back to the house because it's getting dark, and I think I get bitten by mosquitoes. But anyways, We're almost here an hour, so I'm gonna finish and then I'll go. But what I wanted to tell you, even I learned that lesson with my older one, with my old daughter. I thought to myself, my kids are very crafty. I've never been so crafty in my childhood. I didn't like anything to do with crafts. I didn't like glue. I didn't like cutting. I didn't like making, projects. I liked math. I liked something that made sense to me, not like I didn't like creative process. But my kids are very good with crafts, and we buy a lot of craft stuff to have in the house. They have paints, they have canvases, they have glue, they have like all kind of construction paper, they have glitter, they have, like, if you see their art supply cabinet, you would probably think that it's half of the Michaels store there. But anyways, they're very crafty kids. So this year, Stella wanted to do her own costume for the Halloween party at her gym. And I was very skeptical, but I told to myself, whatever, if she wants to do a costume, let her get busy on the weekends. And she was sick on Saturday, so we didn't go anywhere. And she was working 2 weekends in a row. She was working on this Halloween costume. So she had the idea that she wants to be a flower. And I'm very skeptical, I'm like, oh, for me, it's so much easier to go, awesome. Kids nowadays are very wise, determined, and self-sufficient. Yes, yes. And we should embrace it. We should embrace it. We should be grateful. Instead of criticizing or putting too high of the expectations, we should praise the effort, we should support them, and we should let them enjoy the process. Who cares what is the result? As long as they're enjoying the process, as long as they're busy, as long as they're capable of putting down their devices or like their tablets or whatever, phones down, and do something with their hands, we should praise that, we should support it, we should buy materials, we should go to Michael's and just, let them be creative. So I'm again Debbie Downer. I'm like, oh, what kind of costume is that? We'll probably need to go to that store, like seasonal store, the party Halloween. We should probably go there and buy some kind of costume. Why she would make a costume that's not gonna look good or something? Like I'm a Debbie Downer. I always have that, feeling that, like, I wasn't very good at making stuff, so. But I see her busy, and she was sick, and it was something for her to be in a little better mood when we didn't go anywhere. So she was working on this costume for 2 weekends. And then before the party on Wednesday, she tells me that she needs a green shirt to go with her flower costume. So if you watched my stream on Sunday, you probably saw her showing her little flower that goes around her face. And on Tuesday, she told me she needs a green shirt. So after work, I stopped by at Michael's store to buy her green shirt. And I found this cute Halloween pumpkin necklace that lit up. And she also found the Hawaiian, I think it's called lei, Hawaiian flowers, Hawaiian necklace that it's called Leia. So she said, Mom, the costume coming together really good. Exactly. Half of Michael's store. Yes, yes. We call it art supply cabinet, and it's stuffed with all the crafty materials. It's like when you open it, things starting to fall down. But this year, like a couple of months ago, they cleaned it out, and they were surprised to find new stuff they couldn't dig before. So I told them, now we're not gonna run to Michael's. Now you finally dug that stuff out because it was covered in some other stuff. Anyways, so she made that costume, and yesterday was the party, and I had to bring some food. So I thought to myself, well, I'm gonna just stop by. I'm gonna drop off the food to see how they play there, because they have like costume competition, but they also have fun activities, fun games. So it's not the normal gym practice. It's more like for them to get entertained with Halloween party. So I ordered some food in the local restaurant, and I had to bring something for the party because all the parents bring food. So I thought to myself, I'm gonna just go take a quick picture, say hi to other parents, drop the food, and go back home because my other daughter was waiting for me to take her somewhere. So I go there, and I come, and some other mom told me, "Oh, Stella has such a cute costume." I'm like, yeah, she made it herself. And everybody tell me, "Oh, Stella is so cute." I say, yeah, Stella made it herself. And I'm like, thinking, they always give compliment. I'm like standing there, I'm like, whatever. And I'm like, she really loved making it, and I'm glad that she made it. But the kids were voting, so they were voting. Each kid has a number, and other kid would pick like 3 numbers they like, and they would put it in that big, bowl, and then the judges will count all the votes, and they will decide which costume can win. So, and they have 2 categories. The first was the scariest costume, and the second category was the most original costume. And I'm standing there chatting with one of the moms, and all of a sudden her kid got the second place for most original costume. Her daughter was Lorax from that Dr. Seuss book. And I'm like, oh, wow, that was a fun costume. It's very bright orange, and she has a little stick, and she has like fun beard. And I'm standing there just chatting with her mom, and I'm like, oh, congratulations, your kid win. And the mom is like taking lots of pictures, taking her phone out. And that was the second place. And all of a sudden, they're reading, the first place for the most original costume goes to the number 32. And I'm like, what? I'm like cheering. Who is 32? I'm looking at the crowd. Who is 32? And here is my Stella. With her flower costume. She's coming out. She's getting up from the crowd. They were sitting there. She's getting up on the crowd, so cheerful, so happy. She's running to the first place, like they have a real pedestal there. So she's going to the top of the pedestal, and she's getting a medal for the most original costume in her gym, in front of all the team. They had probably around 45 kids there. And I'm so proud of her. I didn't even have a chance to take my phone out. And the other moms tell me, see, Stella won. That's beautiful. They're cheering and they're congratulating me. And I'm standing there like totally surprised. Well, proud and surprised. But it was a fun moment. Exactly. So again, as a mom, I'm a Debbie Downer. I'm so much of a pessimist that my own kid teaches me a lesson, telling me, Mom, it doesn't matter. She loved making it. She was so proud of herself. She was so determined to be a flower. And she put everything together. She had an idea. She put it together. I only helped her a little bit. I think she found a box in the like we have a separate paper container where we put boxes and bottles, the recycling trash container. So she found an empty Amazon box or something, and she drew the petals of the flower, and she only asked me to help with some because Grandpa helped to cut out some of them, and I helped to cut them out with the special knife. And then it took her 2 weekends to paint them. She put some glitter on them. She used the hot glue gun to attach them to a strip of cardboard and put it around her face. So it worked out after all. So I was so proud of her. So it's been an hour. I'm going back from a lake walk, and I wanted to tell you that now I understand that you should learn from your kids. You should learn from them, and you maturing with them, because they teach you a lot of lessons, and they grow up in the culture more free. They enjoy the process of creating. They're not afraid of being judged. They're not afraid of being criticized, because I'm coming from the culture that they criticize you for every little thing. They would tell you, you're ugly, you're stupid, and that was normal back where I grew up. And here, looking at my kids, how independent, how self-confident, and how happy they are just to do things they like, they enjoy. And it's amazing that they enjoy the process of creating without these reservations, without self-doubt, and they create something that, not like in this case, she was lucky to win, and she was very talented, of course, and she put an effort, and she was enjoying creating that costume. But you know, I can't understand why my kid, being a 10-year-old, teaching me, being 47-year-old, teaching me a lesson in self-confidence. Why it works like that? I appreciate it, I embrace it, but I'm just thinking, why can't I be self-confident? Why can't I be kind to myself and telling myself, hey, Kate, enjoy the process. Don't worry if you don't have viewers. Just go there, be yourself. Open the freaking live stream and tell your story. Why I still have a lot of insecurities? Why, as a mature 47-year-old, I still am afraid of being judged? I still am afraid to have a failure. So that was, I was trying to talk about my parenting style, but I ended up with the story how my girls, how my beautiful children teach me. So thank you for listening to my self-reflections. Today I was a little bit stressed because I got stuck in traffic and we missed the diving lesson. And I always, I'm always the person that finds something to regret and beat myself up about. But I think we should let go, and we should appreciate things, that the good things that happen to you during the day, and just let life compensate for the things we missed or we didn't do 100%. Proud mom moment. Yes, proud mom moment. And of course, we send pictures to grandparents back in Europe, and they loved her costume. And I'll tell you more. Last year, my older daughter won that competition too, but she didn't make her own costume. That was just the costume that looked really good on her, and her friends, her kids voted for her. But still, some of the moms told me, your other kid won the competition last year, and I'm like, oh wow, I'm probably I'm a double proud mom. So that was the story. I'm sorry, it's already too dark. You see me, I think by mosquitoes. Can you believe it? I want to see this costume too now. Okay, I'll post the pictures. I think she showed it. Stella showed the face part on Sunday live stream, if you missed the live stream on Sunday. But I can post a picture as a cover of this video. I'll ask her if she doesn't mind to have her picture posted, because now she's like, she doesn't like to be on YouTube that much. I shared that picture in my Telegram channel. Olichka, if you haven't signed to my Telegram channel, please do. If you have a chance, if you want to join the Telegram channel. But I posted it there, Stella's picture in her costume. Thank you, thank you. Share your YouTube community. Yeah, I'll do that. Sounds good. Will do. Спасибо, что были со мной. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for letting me vent, good and bad, happy and sad. But we're moms, you know. That's life. For Telegram. Okay. Where can I get a link for Telegram? Okay. I'll leave the link under this video. I think I have a link in my YouTube description, you know, in the channel description too. I have a link to my Telegram, but I'll leave one here too. Thank you for being with me. У нас очень хорошо тепло. It's very warm. It's not humid. It's nice to take a walk. So I wish everybody just slow down and tell yourself every day you're good moms, you're great parents, you learn from your children life lessons, you're proud of them, let them enjoy the process, always praise for their effort, and just let them enjoy the process and express themselves and be kids, and never beat yourself up for something you think you're missing out on. It's always going to be some kind of guilt at the back of your mind, but just stop beating yourself up. You're good enough. You're a great mom. You're doing good. And it's important to take care of yourself, and especially when you're, you know, especially when you had your kids later in life, it's important to take good care of yourself so you can be there for your kids as longer, and you can be healthy enough to see them grow, to see them what they want to be in life. And it's important as moms to take good care of ourselves so we can be happy and healthy right there for them, and be able to teach them not only, you know, not only telling them, but from your own experience, from being a good role model. Thank you, thank you. Love you all. Thank you for being with me. Love you all. Talk to you for the weekend. Hope your Friday is gonna go well, and hope you all have good, great weekend. Thank you for being with me. Bye-bye. Your Kate B. Good night.